Hello, folks. I hope all of you are doing great. Today's topic is a bit philosophical in nature, but I would argue that it has a very real and strong foundation in our day to day life. In fact, it wouldn't be wrong to say in every moment. So, imagine this: you are going to a shop to purchase something. The amount that you are going to pay for that item would directly be proportional to the quality of that item, or maybe how scarce that resource is, or what's real, or what its value is, right? Similarly, you can buy conveniences. For example, you can pay something extra for that extra leg room on your next flight ticket, or maybe for an entertainment like subscribe to Netflix or whatever worth it is. So essentially, we can say money is something which is very relevant in physical and in material forms. The idea is you transact, you move money just like in current, and that is where even the word currency comes from. So, to a certain extent, we can say the currency of physical world is money. Now, let's try to extrapolate that idea to life. What determines the quality of your life? How can we measure it? What is the real currency of life? Think about it. Is it money? Sure, money helps. It provides comfort, choices, and accesses. But if money were truly the one, we wouldn't have seen examples from someone as famous as Robin Williams or even Elon Musk, who have shared publicly their moments of depression and loneliness. So we know that money isn't it, even from our experiences, from the people that we see on day-to-day basis. So if it's not money, what else? Can it be fame? I would say fame can help. It brings attention and status and some recognition for that matter. But then we also have many Hollywood and Bollywood stars or even world leaders who have shared their experiences with anxiety and depression and going through a rough patch. So just by a factor of you getting known by millions of people does not guarantee inner peace or meaningful existence. Let's think about something else. How about life purpose? I think this one is pretty strong. Having a sense of purpose can absolutely give your life a very meaningful direction. But purpose is tricky, it's abstract, and it's very hard to measure. In fact, I would even say that purpose can keep on changing at different phases of your life. You might be driven at one point and may not be so much for the very same cause in a later stage of your life. So, in my humble opinion, if there is anything which can qualify as the currency of life, that has to be the experiences. Think about it. When you look back in your life, you do not replay your bank balances. You recall moments, the road trips, the long conversations, heartbreaks, some laughter, or some struggles. All these experiences, whether those were good or bad, collectively shape the richness of your life. The interesting thing about these experiences is like contrary to popular beliefs, experiences are not something that you receive. It is actually something that you create. Two people can go through exactly same event but walk out with completely different experiences. Why? Because experiences are internal. They are colored by our own emotions, mental state, and perceptions. Let me share a quick personal story. From last few months, I was preparing very intentionally for job interviews. I had tight schedule, Monday morning to the late evening, the regular work hours, then a small break, and till midnight, just job preparation. So I gave multiple interviews and I couldn't get through any of them. Now, here's the thing, if I measure this experience by just results, I have to call myself a failure. But if I measure it through experience, I would argue that it was very rewarding and rich experience. I learned about my gaps. I learned about how I do under pressure. There were days when I was confident and there were days when I had doubts. But more importantly, I learned about myself and I got closer to myself in terms of experiences. And that's the point. Money can buy comfort, fame can bring attention, your purpose can give direction, but experiences, that's what make life feel lived. But experiences in its very raw form can go in either direction. A big part of experiences are the narratives we build around it. And that's where having these four characteristics in your life is very important: love, kindness, forgiveness, and respect. If you think about it, it directly shapes the experiences you are living. I call it the four horsemen of life. A scarcity of these attributes would create most of your experiences rather painful and not enjoyable, but an abundance of them would make your life very, very meaningful and beautiful. Once we recognize these four characteristics, all that is remaining is to cultivate them. I will probably talk about this more in upcoming videos, but this is essentially the general idea. So here's something that I would like you guys to reflect on this week. Imagine someone driving a Ferrari, but they still can have a far poorer experience than you riding a bicycle. In that moment, the currency of your experience can be far richer than someone who is in a Ferrari car. And the very same concept you can extend into almost any aspect of your life. What you are experiencing at this very moment is your life currency. Because at the end of it all, right, what stays with us are not our possession, not our titles, but the lived experiences that eventually shape who we become. Thank you all for watching this video. I would see you guys next time.